Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're going deep on just one source this time.
Oh, cool.
It's a short story called Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft.
I love it.
You know, this story is about the depths of the Pacific Ocean, but it's also about the depths of the human mind and what happens when it confronts the truly unknowable.
It's really interesting because right away you get this feeling of desperation from the narrator.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right off the bat, he's holed up in this, like, garret.
Yeah.
About ready to end it all.
Oh, wow.
And all he has is his morphine. And you realize pretty quickly it's not even just physical pain that he's trying to escape.
Right.
It's the memories.
Yeah.
It's the weight of what he's seen.
The things he can't bear.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder what could possibly drive someone to that.
I know.
And that point.
Like, what could be so terrifying to drive you to that?
Yeah.
It's like he's looking into the abyss and the abyss is looking back.
Oh.
And that's before we even get to the ocean.
Yeah, right.
Which is really where his whole nightmare begins.
So he tells us that he was trying to escape a German sea raider during World War I.
Right.
And he ends up adrift in the Pacific with no land in sight.
Just completely alone.
Yeah.
Just at the mercy of the elements.
You can practically feel that vastness.
Yeah.
Just closing in on him.
Lovecraft is so good at using the ocean's immensity to create this sense of overwhelming isolation.
Yeah.
And the fact that the narrator doesn't have any seafaring skills.
Oh, right.
Makes it even worse.
It does.
He's not just lost, he's totally powerless.
Yeah.
And then things take a really strange turn.
He wakes up, and it's not just a new day. It's like a whole new reality.
Right.
He's on the ocean floor.
Wow.
Surrounded by this expanse of black mire that just stretches as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
Like the world has been flipped on its head.
And Lovecraft doesn't just stop at the visuals.
Right.
He throws in the stench of, like, decaying fish.
Oh.
This oppressive silence. And this scorching sun beating down on him.
Intense.
Yeah, it's just sensory overload, and every little detail makes this new landscape feel so hostile, so alien.
It's like he's landed on another planet.
Right.
Or worse, in some kind of primordial nightmare.
That's a way.
He theorizes that some kind of volcanic upheaval, something on a scale we've never seen before, must have caused this transformation.
But there's this underlying feeling that it's not just geology at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lines between reality and something else are starting to blur. And that's what makes Dagon so unsettling.
So he sets out across this expanse.
Yeah.
With what little supplies he has.
He's desperate.
Desperate to find the sea that has vanished. And you can almost feel his desperation with every step.
And this is where Lovecraft really excels, I think.
Okay.
He uses the landscape, the endless plain, the bottomless canyon the narrator stumbles into.
Yeah.
He uses all of that to mirror the narrator's mental state.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's like the world around him is a projection of what's going on inside.
So as he's making his way across this unsettling abyss, he finds something truly bizarre.
What's that?
This towering mound.
Okay.
With a gigantic monolith on top.
I mean, this is where Lovecraft starts to introduce the ancient and the unknowable.
Oh, yeah.
The monolith is covered in these really intricate carvings, and they're unlike anything known to man.
Wow.
There are these strange aquatic symbols, creatures that seem like they're from before time itself.
It sounds like a glimpse into a past that predates human history.
It predates everything we know.
And the carvings get even more disturbing.
Oh, no.
When they start showing humanoid figures. But they're not quite human.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, they're described as having webbed hands and feet.
Oh.
Bulging eyes.
Okay.
And they seem to be worshiping underwater.
That's creepy.
It is. Yep. And Lovecraft plays with scale here.
Oh.
Which makes it even more unsettling.
One carving shows one of these creatures slaying a whale, but the whale is barely bigger than the creature.
That really throws your understanding of proportion right out the window.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't just ancient history. It's hinting at a reality where the laws of nature as we know them just don't apply.
Right.
And then comes the moment that changes everything.
Okay.
This colossal cyclopean being rises from the depths and embraces the monolith.
Wow.
The narrator calls him Dagon.
And how does he describe Dagon?
Well, the description is fragmented. It's frantic.
Okay.
It's as if his mind is trying to grasp something that is just beyond comprehension.
So are we supposed to believe that this was real?
I don't know. You're left wondering, was it a hallucination brought on by exhaustion and terror?
Right.
Or was it something far more sinister?
Yeah.
Is this Dagon a god, a monster?
Yeah.
An alien?
What's the significance of this monolith and those bizarre carvings?
Yeah, those are great questions, and we'll dive deeper into them right after this. It's really the mystery that sticks with you. Lovecraft never actually tells us what Dagon is.
Right.
We're left to grapple with this mystery, the fear of the unknown.
And I think that's what makes it so brilliant.
Oh, really?
It's not just a typical monster story.
Mm-hmm.
It's about confronting the limits of what we as humans can understand.
So what if there are things out there that we just can't comprehend?
Yeah. What happens when we're confronted with them?
It's like looking into an abyss that we weren't meant to see.
Right.
And speaking of abysses, I mean, the narrator, he makes it back up that canyon wall somehow, finds his boat, but he doesn't really remember the journey back.
Oh, wow.
Just fragments, simming laughter.
So like a total mental breakdown.
Sounds like it to me.
Yeah. That's a classic Lovecraft move.
Okay.
The mind shattering under the weight of cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Reinforces the idea that there are things the human mind just isn't equipped to deal with.
And that experience really leaves its mark.
Oh, yeah.
Even after he's rescued by an American ship.
Right.
And ends up in a hospital in San Francisco.
He's back in civilization, but he's not the same.
Right. He's in civilization, but that experience has changed him.
He can't shake this feeling that what he saw might have been real.
He even tries to find some answers.
Does he?
Yeah, talking to like an ethnologist about the Philistine legend of Dagon.
Oh, okay.
The fish god.
Mm-hmm.
But no one believes him.
So that isolation.
Yeah.
The inability to share the experience.
Right.
That adds another layer of horror.
Oh, absolutely.
He's trapped in his own personal nightmare.
And
there's no way to convince anyone else of what he went through.
And then there's that ending.
Yeah.
He hears something at his door and decides to end his own life.
Wow. Rather than face whatever's out there.
It's chilling because Lovecraft never tells us what that noise was.
Right.
But that imagery, this immense slippery body lumbering toward the door.
It almost sounds like Dagon himself.
It does.
Has come to claim him.
That ambiguity. It's what makes the ending so effective.
It really is.
It leaves you with this lingering sense of dread. This feeling that something is just deeply wrong with the world.
And it makes you wonder, Yeah. What if he wasn't hallucinating?
Right.
What if those ancient monstrous beings really are out there?
Lurking in the depths.
Just waiting to reveal themselves.
And the fact that it takes place in the ocean.
Right.
Which is a place that already holds so much mystery and fear for us.
It just makes it worse.
Yeah, it really amplifies that sense of dread.
Think about it. What's down there in those unexplored parts of the ocean?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
What if something is watching us right now?
Right.
We think we're at the top of the food chain.
We do.
But what if we're not?
Right.
What if there are these creatures that are older and more powerful than we can even begin to imagine?
It's just lurking in the shadows.
Dagon, it forces us to confront that possibility.
It does. And that's unsettling.
It is.
We like to think we're in control.
Yeah.
But we're really not.
Right.
There are these forces at play in the universe that are way beyond our comprehension.
Right.
And sometimes those forces, they decide to show themselves.
Oh, wow.
Whether we're ready or not.
And when they do,
it can shatter everything we know.
Our sense of safety, our sanity.
Understanding of the world.
Even though the story is short, it leaves a lasting impact.
It really does.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world.
Dagon leaves you with this profound sense of unease. This feeling that something isn't right with the world.
And that there are these depths to reality that we're better off not exploring.
We really are.
But curiosity, it's a powerful force.
It really is.
And even though this story warns us about the dangers of seeking knowledge, it also speaks to our desire to understand the world around us.
To make sense of things.
Yeah. Even if that understanding comes at a terrible cost.
That's the paradox at the heart of Dagon.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it so enduring.
It really does tap into our primal fears.
Yeah.
But it also challenges us to think about our place in the universe.
It does.
And the limits of what we can know.
Dagon leaves us with this sense of wonder and dread.
It makes you want to explore.
It does.
But at the same time, it terrifies you.
Exactly.
of what you might find. We've talked about the ocean as this vast, mysterious space, but it's more than just a setting in Dagon, isn't it?
I think so.
It feels like it represents something much bigger.
Yeah, you're right. The ocean has always been this symbol of the unknown, you know?
Yeah.
It's vast, it's deep, and we've only explored like a tiny fraction of it.
Right.
And what Lovecraft does is he takes that fear, that inherent fear of the unknown, and just turns it up to 11.
And he populates it with these creatures that are just beyond our wildest nightmares.
I know, it's crazy.
They completely defy our understanding of biology and evolution.
Right? It's like what we know about life on Earth is just the tip of the iceberg.
Exactly. It's not even just about the creatures themselves.
Right.
It's that there are these entire civilizations, ecosystems down there that we're completely unaware of.
We have no idea.
It makes you question that anthropocentric view, you know, that humans are the most important thing in existence.
It makes you feel pretty small.
It does. To be honest, it makes me feel kind of terrified.
Yeah.
Like maybe we're not supposed to know what's down there.
Right.
Maybe some things are better left undisturbed.
That's a theme that you see in a lot of Lovecraft's work.
Okay.
This idea that there are limits to human knowledge. Secrets that are just too dangerous to uncover.
And trying to uncover them can lead to madness and destruction, just like what happened to our narrator.
Exactly. He wanted knowledge.
Right.
He stumbled upon something ancient and powerful, and it broke him.
So is that the takeaway here?
I think Dagon, it really forces us to confront our own insignificance.
Okay.
In the face of the vast unknown.
Right.
It reminds us that we're not the center of the universe. There are forces at play that we can't control.
And it definitely leaves you with that feeling of unease.
That something isn't quite right with the world.
It's definitely not a comforting story.
No, it's not.
But it is powerful. It stays with you. It makes you question everything you thought you knew.
It does. Maybe it even encourages us to look a little closer at the world around us.
What do you mean?
You know, to pay attention to the shadows, the whispers.
Okay.
To acknowledge that there might be more to reality than we can see.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into Dagon.
It was a good one.
It was. I hope you all enjoyed this exploration into this chilling tale.
Me too.
And that it's left you with a few lingering questions of your own.
I'm sure it has.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.